I'd like to next welcome the principal of Barnard-Bahn Consulting and Coaching, and she's also a fearless advocate for the new Women on Boards law. Welcome, Amii Barnard-Bahn.
Boy, it is really great to be here today, isn't it? So this past spring and summer, I had the privilege of testifying on behalf of California Senate Bill SB826, Women on Boards. And back in 2013, there was a California Senate resolution that urged public companies in California to increase the number of women on their boards. But as you might guess, this pretty please didn't work. The resolution expired 3 years after it was passed, and by that time, less than 20% of the Russell 3000 companies headquartered in California had the minimum number of women that were called for in the resolution. So Senator Jackson and others moved forward with SB 826 over the whole past year. And as some of my colleagues have indicated, it was by no means a slam dunk. The California Chamber of Commerce and other critics fought the bill heavily, arguing, number one, that the bill was flawed because it considered only one element of diversity. This was an attempt to divide our coalition along race lines. It was a deceitful argument in that the chamber would not have supported a measure that required racial and ethnic diversity either. Number two, critics argued scarcity, that women would be spread thin and underqualified women would be appointed to boards. I can't tell you how many times I heard this in the legislative committee meetings. They assumed that we had a lack of qualified women to serve on boards. There's a lot of education to do around that at the Capitol. And then third, they promised legal challenges, attacking the bill as unconstitutional based on gender discrimination. So against this political landscape, we were thrilled when Governor Brown signed SB 826 as one of his last bills as governor of California. In a special signing message, Governor Brown referenced the special privileges afforded corporations as persons, stating, "It's high time corporate boards include the people who constitute more than half the persons in America." Pretty great, huh? Yeah. This is the first law of its kind in the entire country. We've been contacted by other states, specifically Texas, my birth state, so proud of them, which are considering similar legislation. So what does the bill do? So the bill impacts publicly traded companies whose principal offices are located in California. They're required to have at least one woman on board by the end of 2019. And beginning 2021, there's a step increase. 2 women are required on boards of 5 directors. 3 women are required on boards of 6 or more. And then there's a penalty of $100,000 per non-compliant seat. And as many of us have mentioned here, they're not required to remove anyone. They can add seats. So the net impact is about 650 new seats for women over 3 years. Yeah. The bill may face significant legal challenges, but this doesn't matter. And here's the very important reason why. This is a statement bill, drawing attention to the glaring gender gap on boards. Women currently comprise 51% of the population, 57% of the workforce, 56% of college enrollment, and only 21% of Fortune 1000 corporate boards have 1 or more women members. Our Women on Boards bill clarifies the corporate conversation and demands a shift in process. It puts gender on the agenda. This bill is driving a powerful conversation around the closed board recruitment and selection process, which favors existing and predominantly male members' personal networks over finding the most qualified candidates. As investors, executives, customers, and members of our communities, we are acutely aware of the need for our organizations to appoint independent, diverse, and qualified board members. We have too many examples demonstrating the risks when boards fail to fulfill their oversight and governance responsibilities. Over the course of time when SB 826 was in the news, I've already been invited to comment on business fails, like Papa John's Pizza, Tesla, and Theranos, all situations that could have used a more diligent board in place. The research demonstrates that corporations with women on boards are more profitable, productive, and have fewer governance issues, such as bribery, corruption, shareholder battles, and fraud. Ultimately, this issue is about ensuring access to ensure the most qualified people are governing American corporations. Think of the jobs lost in the scandals of the past year alone. Think of the pay disparity that we know exists in so many companies. Boards have the power to ask the questions and request the data, to rectify the gender pay gap, to protect employees from sexual predators, and the public from abuses of corporate power, cowardice, and greed. As women, we have a unique opportunity at this time in history to outperform and outbehave those who have governed our corporations. We can all have a role in this process. When we enable healthy workplace cultures, employees can do their best work and companies thrive. Thank you.